Novak Djokovic's major quest, Jannik Sinner v Carlos Alcaraz battle, Coco Gauff's #1 bid, what to watch in 2026 tennis season. What are the storylines and players to look out for in the 2026 tennis season? Novak Djokovic will be aiming to win a record 25th Grand Slam title, but can he get past Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner? And who is most likely from the ATP Tour to break the duopoly at the top? Elena Rybakina could be a force again on the WTA Tour, while Emma Raducanu and Naomi Osaka will be aiming to progress. What's to come in tennis in 2026? The 2025 season saw Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner rule the ATP Tour, while Aryna Sabalenka finished as #1 on the WTA Tour after winning the US Open. The new season starts with the Australian Open, live on TNT Sports and Discovery Plus, as players battle to win the first Grand Slam of the year. But what are the storylines and who are the players to look out for in 2026? Djokovic's Slam quest. It's been over 2 years now since Novak Djokovic last won a Grand Slam title, and his chances of breaking Margaret Court's all-time record look slimmer than ever. Djokovic himself has admitted that it will be very difficult for him to topple Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner over 5 sets. They're just too good, playing on a really high level, said Djokovic after losing to Alcaraz at the US Open. Is there still a chance for Djokovic to win #25 in 2026? Maybe, but it might require a dream draw and for either, or ideally both, Alcaraz or Sinner to not make the latter stages. Who's the closest challenger to top 2? The ATP rankings show the enormous gap between the top 2 and the rest. At the top of the rankings sit Alcaraz and Sinner on 12,050 points and 11,050 points. Then come the rest, led by Alexander Zverev on 5,160 points. It's not easy to confidently pick out a player who could break the Alcaraz-Sinner duopoly in 2026. Ben Shelton had a decent Grand Slam season, making the semis at the Australian Open and quarterfinals at Wimbledon, but is 0-3 against Alcaraz and has lost his last 7 against Sinner. Felix Auger-Aliassime finished the campaign in excellent form and rose to #5 in the world, but was 0-4 against Sinner in 2025 and has lost 5 in a row against Alcaraz. Jack Draper could be one to watch if he stays injury-free and builds on his strong first half of 2025, which saw him beat Alcaraz on his way to winning Indian Wells. Never in the Open era have 2 players split the Grand Slams for 3 seasons in a row. That could happen in 2026 if Sinner and Alcaraz both take 2 each again. We've already discussed who else might win a slam, but who starts 2026 as the top dog between Sinner and Alcaraz? Alcaraz starts the new year as world #1, but Sinner had the last word in 2025 with victory in the final of the Nitto ATP Finals. Their head-to-head matches in 2025 finished 4-2 in Alcaraz's favor, including 2 wins in their 3 Grand Slam final meetings. It looks set up for a thrilling tussle for supremacy again. The return of Rybakina. Elena Rybakina re-established herself as a force on the WTA Tour with victory at the season-ending WTA Finals, where she beat Aryna Sabalenka in straight sets in the final. The 2025 season was largely a disappointing one for the former Wimbledon champion, but she found form at the end with 11 straight victories. Her serve looked excellent in Riyadh and is still arguably the best on tour, while she has the power game to match and beat the best. She could be a dangerous opponent at the Australian Open. Although the 2025 season finished on a negative note for Emma Raducanu as she cut it short due to injuries, there were positives to move forward with. She played 50 matches, a career high, and had some strong results that saw her get back into the top 30 in the world, high enough for a seeded spot at the Australian Open. That she is sticking with coach Francisco Roig into 2026 also appears to be a good sign. Raducanu showed exactly how good she can be over the summer when she pushed world #1 Aryna Sabalenka very close at Wimbledon and in Cincinnati. But can she move up to another level next year? Will there be a new women's #1? Either Aryna Sabalenka or Iga Swiatek have been WTA #1 since Ashley Barty retired in early 2022. Coco Gauff came closest to breaking that run in 2025 as she got to #2 in the rankings and was in the mix for #1 ahead of the US Open. The season, though, finished with Sabalenka and Swiatek as the top 2. Gauff fell back after losing points from her 2024 WTA Finals victory but has plenty of chance to make up ground early in 2026. In Qatar and Dubai she lost in the second round in 2025 and at Indian Wells and Miami she was beaten in the fourth round. Right now she looks the most likely to contend to be the next number one. The loud hype around João Fonseca quietened a bit in the middle of 2025. But then he went and won his first ATP 500 title and was labeled the next Novak Djokovic by his beaten opponent in the final. Fonseca still has a long way to go until he competes with the best game, but a rise from number 145 at the start of the year to number 24 at the finish shows he is making good progress. Will he continue trending upwards in 2026? I love revenge. Sabalenka wants Kyrgios rematch with 2 changes for next Battle of the Sexes. Best moments of 2025 tennis season: Alcaraz, Sinner, Swiatek, Gauff heroics. Djokovic had to reinvent himself after being third guy in Federer-Nadal rivalry. Kyrgios comeback. Nick Kyrgios revealed recently that he has a new lease of life after getting a miracle injury boost on his journey back to full fitness. The former Wimbledon runner-up has hardly played in the last 3 years due to a string of knee and wrist injuries, managing just 5 matches in 2025, one of which he won. But could there still be more to come from the big-serving Australian? Will Osaka continue to climb? The summer move of replacing Patrick Mouratoglou with Tomasz Wiktorowski as her coach appeared to pay off for Naomi Osaka. She made the final in Montreal, her biggest since returning to the tour as a mum at the start of 2024, and then reached the semis at the US Open, her first major semi since winning the Australian Open in 2021. Even in defeat at the US Open, Osaka was upbeat about the future. Honestly, it's kind of inspiring for me because it makes me just want to train and try to get better, and hopefully just give it my very best shot again and see what happens. But I think I can't be mad or upset at myself. Watch and stream top tennis action, including the 2026 Australian Open, live on TNT Sports and Discovery+. Novak Djokovic's major quest: last hurrah or new glory? Novak Djokovic enters 2026 at 38 years old, an age when most tennis professionals have long retired. Yet, his hunger for more Grand Slam titles remains fiery. Reports suggest his 2026 campaign might feature new additions to his coaching and support team, indicating serious intent. Tennis head: a living legend's motivation. Why does Djokovic keep going? To extend his historic Grand Slam record, he's chasing an elusive 25th major title, a number that would stretch the benchmark of tennis greatness even further. Full star.